Welcome to week number 7. Quick overlook about the CFTC data. There has been a great increase in GBP longs. So last week they started the increase pretty much in the beginning of February, where it flipped from 600 to 800 million, and it's now standing over 1.8 billion positions. So the positioning long has been increasingly stocking up. Interestingly, last week's shorts reduced for the first time. There's really loads of positive momentum behind the pound, and we've seen that on the charts. It's absolutely ripping through everything, minus some of the commodity currencies like AUD, but apart from that, it's mostly increasingly very bullish. Euro had a slight increase in the long position, and the short added a little bit as well. Nothing new, nothing too dramatic. I'm always interested in open interest staying healthy, so that's good. Market is looking for strong movement, same thing on GBP. Problem is, when open interest falls off, that means incentives to get into new trades falls off as well. We don't want to see that. We like the increase in open interest, even though maybe direction sometimes can get murky. As long as open interest is strong, that means we get movements in market. Not a lot of movement on the Aussie or the Kiwi, so positioning still very thin, tantalizing, not really moving a lot. A little bit more bullish on NZD, the market. So a little bit of movement on the yen side. So I believe the longs reduced quite significantly, a good chunk, and oil added a good amount on the long side again, as it's been climbing towards the $80 per barrel. So again, loads of money moved in the beginning, the first 2 weeks of February. So there's loads of anticipation of movements coming, which is positive. Having a quick look at inflation expectation based on market anticipation, we're a bit of a drop off the last couple of days, and I would expect AUDJPY to come a little bit back down in sympathy before, in my view, before it keeps climbing higher. We'll have a quick look at the calendar for next week. GBPUSD hasn't got a lot going until the back of the week. My anticipation is still, and was for the majority of last week, is that we get a drop back into 137.44 before a move higher towards 140. If you start climbing on Monday and Tuesday and never see this level again, it will be a lost opportunity for me. But based on my models and the way I trade, there's a higher potential for GBPUSD to trade back into this level before making a major leap. On Monday and Tuesday, we don't have a lot of data, so there's US bank holiday, same thing for China. And on Tuesday, not a lot of data I'm interested in. There will be market moving, but starting on Wednesday, we have US retail sales, and then we have an FOMC meeting in the back of the day, where we're expecting to see what the sentiment is. The main thing right now in the market is sell bonds and just buy risky assets. That seems to be the way. So I would imagine that will feed into the hands of buying assets that are a bit more risky, or specifically in the Forex market as well. We should be seeing AUD perform better, and all the other emerging market currencies as well. And going into Thursday, I am looking for AUDJPY to make a bit of a stronger move. We have a very interesting relationship between employment data and AUDJPY. A lot of the times, and when I say a lot of the times, maybe 8 or 9 out of 10 instances, when you have employment data due for AUD or for Australia, you either get a top or bottom on that same day. So on Thursday, I would expect, and it's a bit late in the week, but I expect to see a topping or a bottoming for the pair for the rest of the week. You tend to see a high or low of the week on the same day you see the employment data is due. And usually the employment data, I believe, comes out on a Wednesday. Now it's coming out on a Thursday. It means there's not a lot to work with for the rest of the week. But I would prefer, as I saw inflation expectation falling off a little bit for last midweek, for this coming week, I would like for AUDJPY to come down, and then we have a good strong buy going into the employment data to finish strong the week towards Thursday and Friday. So a bit more bearish in the beginning of the week, but I'll be more interested to buy it towards the back end of the week to explore higher levels. And quite actually constructive on AUDJPY. We have the reflation trade. The yield curves are turning up. The short end is staying anchored, but the longer maturities are moving up. That tends to drive Japanese investors to export money and to EM currencies and high growth currencies. Therefore, you would expect AUDJPY to make new highs as it corrects on. We're currently already sitting on new yearly highs, but just keep going on. My target is towards 85, 86 in the next couple of weeks to move towards these levels here, as I'm very bullish the pair. And other data we'll have is Euro PMIs. We tend to see very strong moves to Euro PMIs or the EURJPY. The last couple of readings was very bullish whenever the data came out. I'm not expecting to be any other way, and that ties in with my idea that AUDJPY will rally towards the back end of the week. Again, I like to see AUDJPY, EURJPY to come down beginning of the week towards Wednesday, and then we have a good strong bottom of the week beginning of Thursday, Friday, where we have less resistance to explore higher levels. Last thing I like to look at as a whole is EURAUD. I believe we are starting to crack in some more significant levels. So this box here covering about the 80 pip range, 56, say 20 to about 57, about this 80 pip range. I'm expecting this to hold and then starting to establish a more longer to medium term trend downwards. We're already on a big trend downwards in EURAUD, so it's nothing new, but I believe this level now, this consolidation is over, and we should start seeing crack near lower levels, and a stop against these levels would be interesting to explore towards 55, 54 again in the coming weeks, as I'm very constructive on the Australian dollar. That's all for me. Thank you.